places. Gilgamesh. Let's talk. You know something? I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for anybody in 2024. Because I knew who really picks the president. That's the Palantir. Yeah, they run the electoral college. The government has it. So Trump was getting it no matter what. But after Charlie Kirk's assassination, I turned away from the left who I used to talk to, and I go, okay, you people are fucking evil. Then I started realizing something. All these illegal motherfuckers that are illegally here, stealing money from American taxpayers, they can't pay anything. You know what they do when they come here illegally? They get paid. They send the money back home. This has already been proven now. People from Mexico and on, when they come here and they get jobs, which why are they working in America? They take the money and they send it back home. They don't pay it here. They can't buy homes. And so they send the money back home, where we've lost billions of dollars on it, just like with this, what happened with the Somalis. I don't want these people in my country. Muslims, after Mandani, you had Muslims in Minnesota. in Dearborn, literally talking about we're going to take over, we're going to go to war with them. It's like, what the fuck? You had an Afghani nationalist, none of these Afghanis that Biden brought in were mostly all men, by the way, brought in were vetted. Oh yeah, purple's my favorite color along with green. And you wonder about the Band-Aid, I had to have a burn nerve done in my arthritis, my lower back, and when I was at the signing in, I ended up a corner. I was getting out of my wheelchair because my back was hurting, and it still is. It's sore from the procedure. I hit my head and cut it a little bit. That's why I'm wearing the Band-Aid, if you're wondering. Now, the thing is, these people, I was watching Kershaw talk about this and other people. Somalis EMR. Okay, Somalis came here like most of the Muslims. They came as refugees. Okay, refugees are not American citizens. They're not allowed to fucking run for government. They can't vote. Refugees are people that know they're here temporarily. This is why the Haitians in Florida were told they're temporary. They have to go back to Haiti. They are going back. They're not complaining like EMR and everything. They are heading back because they know their time here, they were allowed to live here temporarily and work, but they couldn't vote. And so their time is up, and yes, they are heading back home. They're either choosing to head back or they're getting help to get back to Haiti. They're not fighting it because they know this was a temporary situation. Because of the earthquake that hit Haiti, we allowed refugees in from Haiti. They are heading back home. Now, these Muslims, like Somalis, were allowed in because of what's going on in Somalia. Okay, and you can watch Black Hawk Down if you want to see what happened when our government tried to take down a warlord. Well, and here's the thing, EMR, I think her father may have been a warlord who got ousted, and he may have been working with our government, and so that's why under Bill Clinton they went in and they brought all these Somalis, including EMR's parents, as refugees, and gave them, because they can't become citizens. When you allow people to come in under refugee status, as far as I understand, they can't become American citizens. They're not even allowed to work in our government. Somehow these Somalis have been allowed to overtake Minnesota. And so what happened recently? And Tim Walz is absolutely culpable of what went on. A bunch of Somalis ran a scam through the health system that is for using the program of money for children with autism. Their kids don't have autism. Most of these kids can't even read and write. Yeah. So they sent it back to billions of dollars was sent from Minnesota taxpayers to Somalia, and it got in the hands of Al-Shabaab. And there is no real government there. That's another problem. You have this guy admitting, I was stealing money from the U.S. government, from Minnesota, sending it so he could try to take over the government. He wants to become a leader, even though the way that everything in Somalia works is that it's all messed up. I don't know how, but it's time to send these people back. And they hate America. EMR constantly shits on this country, yet she thinks she has a right to be here. She married her brother. Trump is absolutely right. These people are fucking garbage. You have the ones in New York who are like, we're going to take over. I want all these Muslims gone. They don't believe in America. They should be sent back to their homeland. They don't deserve to be here. I don't want people here who hate America. You can take Jacob Fry. The guy wants to speak in their fucking goddamn language. Why don't you go live there? You have The View, a bunch of retards who don't understand. These people commit crimes. You had a guy who spent 15 fucking years, and I'll talk about it later, where it turns out this fucking Guatemala and his fucking stupid wife 3 times got deported for stealing people's identity, and for 15 fucking years, an American had his identity stolen. And I say, shut the factory where this fucker worked. I hope the government goes out to all the people there and removes and shuts down this factory that allowed these fucking illegals to steal a man's identity for 15 fucking years. Kirsha was covering this. I agree with everything she said. This man had his life stolen. This American who did nothing wrong. And he eventually got a police officer and Homeland Security guy, and they finally found the guy. He's in court. He's being, most likely, his children should be deported. They're not American citizens. Doesn't matter. You and your wife commit crimes in this country and should not be here. You were deported 3 times. Each time you came in, your father's illegally here. Send them all back. And his lawyer has in this paper in New York Times, I'll show it later. Try to defend this guy. Say he's the victim. No, motherfucker. The man who he knowingly stole the identity of and fucked this man where he was paying $150 a month to the IRS. Yeah, they finally caught the guy. And his lawyer's he's trying to think he can stay in America. No, motherfucker, you're getting deported. And you should. Like all these other illegals. And they say, they're not stealing shit. Blue states, I live in Oregon, it's a blue state. They are giving this shit to illegals. I went to see a movie, and this guy, tells me, his father he got mad at the idea of illegals being deported. He brought up his father, saying his father's illegally in America and he's working. Yeah, he's paying taxes to the state. Not allowed to work in America. And I said, can't wait till he'll probably be deported. He goes, well, he got mad at me for that. I said, yeah, you're not allowed to be here. You can't legally pay taxes in America. He goes, well, my dad's paying taxes. He can't legally work in America. He's not an American citizen, and neither is his son. So I was like, yeah, you need to go back to where you came from. And I'm sick of this. These people, and it turns out that what Trump and Elon found was fraud. Blue states were giving undocumented illegals welfare. They were putting them in housing. They were giving them fucking food stamps. Yeah, they found the fraud. They changed rules, and you have dumb Democrats saying we're going to sue the Trump. No, this is federally funded. This means comes in. They don't have to give you shit. You have the dumb Attorney General of fucking Oregon, California, all these dumb blue states saying we're going to sue because they have no right. Actually, it's a federal program. They can cut you completely off, you idiots. Do you not understand? EBT is a federal program. Nowhere does it say they have to give you fucking shit. You don't want to work with the government. You want to take their money, but you say we're not going to cooperate when it comes to illegal immigration. We're a sanctuary state. Then you get to get cut off. Yeah, I'm disabled. I get $24 a month in food stamps. Yeah, I have United Healthcare. Okay. They put a certain amount of, like right now I get $235 till next year. That's what I get for healthy benefits. Next year it's going down like to $194, something like that. Yeah. And I understand that. And I'm losing about $500 on my dental. That's fine. I understand why that's happening because of the fraud. They have to change the rules. Yeah, and I understand it'll eventually return to normal once they clean out all the fraud. So, yeah. So I understand what Trump's doing. I'm not mad at him. Democrats did this. And my parents are Democrats, but I don't talk politics because, and I told them when Trump in 2020 ran, I voted for him because I was never voting for Biden. I explained why. Because Biden's a pile of shit. He's a senile old man. They understood this. They didn't hate me for it. They didn't go, you're not my son like a lot of fucking other people. They understand. I don't talk politics with them because, when I explained, why I voted for him. Because I saw the job he was doing and I liked some things he did. Yes, Trump Wasn't perfect. No presidents. But I listened to what they say and then I looked at what he was doing. He was doing some things that I agree with. I have conservative and I have some libertarian viewpoints on things. I want the government to take care of the most vulnerable Americans like myself. But I also want them to leave Americans alone and let them live their lives. I want them to protect our country from enemies within and enemies outside. I'm hoping but I don't think realistically they're going to be able to bring jobs back to America unless these companies want to change the way they do things. We need to get rid of all fucking unions, and we need to get rid of communists and socialists out of America. Stop this shit, because that shit actually hurts Americans. Unions do not benefit Americans. When they originally started, you might have thought, okay, they're looking out for Americans, but that ain't the status anymore. And this is a big reason Martin Luther King was killed. He was supporting unionization. That's communism. He was run by two communists, two Jewish communists, and this is why they were, why they were after him. He was pushing unionization. That's communism. And here's the thing about women. Women are terrible at negotiating for themselves. They really are. This is why they tend to lose. They don't get pay raises. When they try to talk for themselves, they can't do it. Not all women are like that, but the majority of women suck at negotiating for themselves. So when it came and men got higher pay, it was because women couldn't sit down and ask for themselves what to do. So they needed others. This is really true. Now, a lot of women cannot have terrible ability to negotiate for themselves, to help themselves. That's why you see them, they're stupid. Like supporting abortion. How is that reproductive? To abort something, not to. I could get an abortion, it's so stupid. Abortion has nothing to do with reproductive health. It has nothing to do with that. It's all about killing the unborn. But there's, God, these people in this world. I mean, honestly, we live in a stupid time. We do. We live in a actually retarded time in not just America, around the world. Trump is apparently one that started war in Venezuela. And I was watching actual Justice Warrior bring this up. Maduro is not scared of America. He's not. If you know anything about the guy, he grew up in Caracas, one of the most violent cities in the fucking world. Another thing, more I looked into him, he was voted in. He won the last election. They tried to get rid of him. They failed. That's why the woman fled the country and left the goofball she tried to put in that nobody voted for. That's why so many Venezuelans went to the United States. One of them happened to be a gay hairdresser. The other had a tattoo of Madrid soccer team. That was true. MS-13, or the other gang. Yeah. MS-13 lets you know their neck, their chest, their back will tell you they're MS-13. Yeah. They let you know they're MS, and they're run by not El Salvador, gangs like that are run by the CIA. Same with Largo, the gang of Venezuela. They hate Maduro. Yeah, they tried to overthrow him. They failed. Now, when Trump sold these Venezuelans, claiming they were all, game with no proof, I went, what the fuck are you doing? Then he sold them to El Salvador. He human trafficked people when he promised to send them back to Venezuela. When El Buki, or whatever his name, Kabuki warrior of fucking El Salvador, who's mostly a dictator, sent them back to Venezuela. They went on to the media and told what they went through. These people no longer support this government. Nobody in Venezuela supports Trump anymore because they saw the horrors what happened to their people, and they were told they did. Maduro allowed them to tell their stories, and what people heard made them hate America. They do not like our government. So they're willing to help protect their country from us, and this is a mistake Trump is making. The whole blowing those boats up, here's the problem. Trump didn't give the order. Pete Hegseth did. He's the Secretary of Defense, or War, whatever you want to call it. He's the one that ultimately gives the military their orders. Because during cabinet meetings, they discuss all type of things. Trump doesn't give the order. They all discuss, okay, and then Pete Hegseth, as the head of the Department of War, will go and give the orders to the military. You can't disobey an order. You can talk to your commander about it if you're a foot soldier, but you can't disobey it. Mark Kelly's wrong They're all stupid. Democrats, those 6 Democrats were dumb to say they should disobey Trump's orders. Trump didn't give the orders to put the National Guard in D.C. That was Pete Hegseth. He even said we're going to put more in there. Democrats are responsible for those 2 National Guard being shot by a Afghan nationalist who they let in the country under Biden. When he debacled the fucking, handing the country over to the fucking Taliban, got a bunch of military killed by a suicide bomber. Then he left Americans there to bring a bunch of these national Afghans who aren't American citizens, and one of them was who helped him get to fucking D.C. because he was in the state of Washington. Give him a rifle where he went up and shot these 2. The woman he shot in the chest and the head, she passed away tragically. She lost her life, and the other one, I don't know if he's dead. But then Democrats go on to blame Trump. He didn't have anything to do with this. As 6 Democrats said illegal, they couldn't even say what illegal orders that Trump gave, because he doesn't give orders directly to the military. Pete Hegseth does. He ordered the National Guard and said, we're going to bring more in. Then they go, oh my God, he's putting more of these people in. They hate the military. More people have signed up to join the military since Trump got back in the White House. Do you understand? Under Biden, they quit. Now Trump's back in. They're joining in droves to be in the military. Yeah. Democrats hate this fucking country. They just lost a special election in Tennessee because the woman went on to trash Tennessee and the voters went, what the fuck? Then you have the fucking Minnesota fucking Somali stealing $1 billion and sending it to Somalia, or I call Somaliland, where they're like, don't pay. And Trump's right, they are garbage. These fuckers are all garbage. They stole, I don't care, I'm not fucking separating the motherfuckers. They are not American citizens. They hate this country, they don't integrate themselves, and they turn into shit. And then Jacob Fry, being a retard, stands up there and starts speaking gibberish. I'm going, what the fuck is he saying? No one understands. Tampon Tim, yes, Tampon Tim, we thought it was a great idea to put tampons in public schools for boys pretending to be, so they can shove them up their buttholes. They can say, I'm a girl. No, you're not. He's responsible for this. He was governor. And when it was brought to, I believe the people in the Human Resource Department, when they went to him, he said, oh, shut the fuck up. And when they went to the Biden-Harris administration, they didn't do anything about it. So that's why this is so fucking criminal. And they're investigating him. They're investigating those people, those 6 Democrats. I mean, dear God. And I agree. It's time to send, and they're sending in Homeland Security to get these undocumented. They should get all the Somalis, remove them, then go to Dimbor and remove all those Muslims. Remove all the Muslims. Send them back to their countries they come from. Yeah, I'm not joking. Send all the Africans back. I don't want it in my country. They don't want to be a part. They want it to be cheap labor and send the money back to their countries. Go back to where you came from. I'm serious. If you want to come here, follow our laws. And a lot of people do follow laws and become American citizens. I've met people from Africa who hate these motherfuckers. I've met a fucking Somali who, and he hates these fucking people in Minnesota because they're all not Americans. He came here legally. He didn't become a refugee. He legally came here, he followed immigration, and he became an American citizen. And he speaks English. Most of these fuckers can't speak a fucking word of English. And then they're like, oh, he heard about this? Yeah. And he basically said, yeah, he hates the fucking people of Somalia. They're all fucking scum. He goes, he moved here, he became an American citizen, and he said that he voted for Trump. I don't care, but he says he supports Trump's action to get rid of all these Somalis. They're all criminals. They're scum. Yeah. And I'm not going to say his name because, people could come after him. But he also, and I've met people from other Africans who left because fucking Africa is garbage. Most of it's fucking got no running sanitation. It's polluted. You get bit by, you get malaria running through there because of the mosquitoes. They got tigers now in Africa. Thanks to Dave Somali. Yeah, he put 2 fucking tigers in Africa, which were never there to begin with. And you have so many things that can kill you. From the black mama, can literally cause your blood to pour out of your body if you're bit by it. Yep. And they have ants that can kill you. Army ants. Yep. They will fucking have known to kill people. And you have lions who have known to kill people. You have other people that'll kill people. They're fucking everything. Hippos will kill you. Crocodiles will kill you. Yeah, it's a wonderful place. Oh shit, everything wants to kill you. Kind of like Australia. Yeah. So, and then you have the whole thing with Ethan Klein, Hassan Piker. Oh my god, this fucking retard went to communist China and thought he could make a meme of Mao Zedong, the communist leader. And holy shit, he got stopped and detained. And then he had the nerve to say, oh, bitch and lie about America. But he was detained for having a meme about Mao Zedong. You can't make fun of that guy. Hell, she doesn't like being referred to as Winnie the Pooh, which he should consider that a compliment. But yeah, and he's all sucking their dick and everything and then shitting on America. So what did I bring him up? He had the dog thing where he tortured his dog, that Kayla. He's so protected by the guy who's CEO of Twitch, that he can pull a gun out. He can torture his dog. He can shit all over America and say America deserved 9/11. How'd this fucker, and then lie about himself? Oh, he was never poor. He came from a wealthy, his fucking parents are wealthy. His uncle's fucking wealthy. I'm not talking about Jink. His other uncle is rich. Jink is rich. At least Jink doesn't shit on America and say America deserved 9/11. He's even said that was stupid. But Hassan Piker constantly proves he hates America. Then there was this whole thing where Ethan Klein put out a video making fun of Hassan Piker. So what happened? Casey Tron and two other idiots decided to attack him. And basically what they did was they attacked first. Casey Tron went after Asmongold by, I'm not kidding, saying that his mother had an OCP. I think that's what it was. Her health issues, that he basically caused her to die. What this stupid bitch and others didn't know was he started Twitch, as I was watching other people talk about it. He started working on Twitch while he was taking care of his mother, whose health, yes, deteriorated. But I think she was living with him, and he was taking care of his mother, getting her the best care he could afford. That's why he did Twitch, to make the money to take care of her health. She didn't die because he caused her death. She died because her health was terrible, and it devastated him when he lost his mom. For her to come out and then she was going to lose her lawsuit. She settled with Ethan Klein and agreed that the money she raised, the donation she got, that she'd be able to pay off her lawyers, and the rest would go to Ethan Klein and his wife. And she apologized in a pre-written statement, clearly not really sorry, but Ethan Klein shall testify on Ethan Klein. She'll give him all the information she has on the donators, people that he was trying to get his hands on that had been pushing this. And she threw Hassan Piker under the fucking bus by saying he didn't give me any support. He did infer that he was going to support all three of these women. They didn't support her. She was left to hang, and then she apologized. Her apology to Asmongold was such shit, he didn't accept it. He said no. And he's right. Why would you accept your apology? You shit all over him, said he killed his mother. Fuck you. You deserve everything you got, Casey Tron. I have no sympathy for you. You are not the victim here. You called Hilla an IDF soldier, which I don't know if that's true. I know she's from Israel. I used to be like, oh, I don't like what Israel's doing to the Palestinians, but I don't care anymore. I don't care. Because Hamas is a terrorist organization that has killed innocent Israelis. Not everybody supports the Israeli government or the IDF. This is where people get this mistake. And when they say from the river to the sea, Palestine shall be free, they're talking about the destruction, and the left lies about this, but the truth is they want to wipe Israel off the map. That's pure and simple. That's why they say the death to Israel, the death to the IDF. These people are monsters. They celebrate Charlie Kirk's assassination, and yes, he did come to not want to support Israel, but yeah. And I've said before in my previous video, when I heard the next day after what happened on 9/10 with his assassination, I was upset. I never met Charlie Kirk. It pissed me off. He didn't deserve to die. I said that, and then I realized who really had him put to death, who had him assassinated. And it wasn't the guy they're all saying, because that's too obvious. Just like with the Trump thing. It's clearly all staged by the CIA to make y'all think they were trying to kill Trump. No, they weren't. The person who killed Charlie Kirk was ordered by the CIA to take him out, just like all political assassinations. We don't know who the shooter is. We never saw the shooter. They never saw the shooter. It came from here through here. I know some people think it was fake because, one person said, where's all the blood on his shirt? I don't know. But I'm not going to go further than that. I just said I know who killed him, who had him ordered his death like so many others. The CIA. And Palantir is the CIA. So, yeah. And getting to, this whole thing, I'm watching people, Somalis crying about, you can't say that about, yes, I can. Yes, Trump can. You're all garbage. You do not contribute shit to our country. And I had some fucking Somali try to claim that the immigrants of Minnesota were always Somali. No, you motherfucker. That's bullshit. And no, the people that were here before any white people came were in fact the native people, not Somalis, you fucking retard. Now, when you have that bunch of bullshit, it's like saying that, the people of the original indigenous people of fucking Scotland were black. No, they weren't. Just like saying the people of Europe were always black. We were kings. Oh, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You idiots were killing each other in Africa. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. The slave trade happened because Africans sold their people to the white man. Yes. Couldn't have happened without a bunch of fucking African tribal leaders saying, get these fuckers out of our country. We don't want out of here. And they sold the continent to the white man. So, no, there was no colonization. There was colonization, all these Africans and fucking these Muslims and people from India who illegally came into Europe or, come here to America. And then you have Gavin Newsom recently reversed giving out driver's license to undocumented illegals after basically what our government said. Now, just recently, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in Trump's favor and Texas's favor by saying, yes, the map that Trump redrew for Texas, which would eliminate 5 fake Democrats who were only got into power because the Democrats gerrymandered in such a way to illegally create black areas that only blacks could run. So the redistricting gets rid of these 5 illegally elected Democrats, and the left is spurred. This means every other state that wants to do the same thing can do it. They can get rid of these illegally elected Democrats. That's 25 Democrats who were illegally elected into this federal government through illegal gerrymandering. Now they bring up California's Prop 50. Is gerrymandering illegally done for race, which is what they did. And yet they passed only because idiots didn't know what they were voting for. It's so illegal that if it makes the Supreme Court, which is being challenged, they're going to toss it the fuck out. What happened in Texas was they argued because these Democrats had illegally redistricted to only allow blacks to run. That's race redistricting, and the Supreme Court agreed with it. Overwhelmingly agreed. That's only 3 idiot Democrats voted against it. Everybody agreed that was gerrymandering by race is what they did in California, and it bit them in. It's going to bite them in the ass. And in Texas, 5 illegally Democrats are going to get removed and replaced by who the governor wants. They'll probably, and once these redistricts are fixed and undone, there won't be a Democrat. They'll lose 5 seats outright. And then other states will follow that want to do the same thing. We're trying to get rid of these gerrymandering illegally by Democrats. And there's a lot of red states that want to get rid of that. Those Democrat illegally gerrymandered. So they can fix it because these were red areas in fucking Texas. These were red areas in these other states. They're going to do the same thing. It's going to be upheld by the Supreme Court. So fuck you, Democrats. I waited nearly half an hour to say the first fuck you. I am so happy with myself. You know, and just to let you know, Quentin Tarantino. I will do a review of this when I see it tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to the movies to see Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair, the way he originally wanted to release it. Reason I'm saying this is because I love the movie. It's his magnus opus. It's his greatest film he ever wrote because I read up on where he got the idea. He was with Uma Thurman. He called it originally The Bride. He sat down with her and he started coming up with the story, and he said he wanted to do a revenge story. The bride goes on a rampage, goes on killing, revenge, goes for revenge against the people that tried to kill her. She loved the story. And now, I've heard Quentin Tarantino talk about his writing process, and it is fascinating how he comes up with the characters and thinks about the actors to play them. So Uma Thurman was the bride. Okay, he thought about who is Bill. He always wanted David Carradine, Michael Madison, all the main actors, Michael Parks and his son. Mostly every actor, except for a few, were already in his head who he wanted to play these characters. Because that's how he thinks. He thinks as a guy who worked in a video store, he's like me, has always loved movies. I like Chris Stockman. It's obvious he loves movies. He sucks at writing, but that's what everybody complained about his Shelby Oates. The writing is crap, but overall they thought that there were some good things about the direction. Even his best friend said, next time don't write, just direct. But this is the thing. I worked in a video store, so I understand and I've thought about ideas for movies. Like I thought about Christmas horror movie where Nicolas Cage ends up killing people with a giant bell, and he had a sleigh. There's a sachet of bells, and he basically hysterically laughs as he's murdering people, and it was comically going to be called Jingle Bells. Yeah, and I'm not joking. And then I saw Longlegs, and I said, God damn it, Oz Perkins, you fucking beat me to I don't have the money to make it happen, but that was an idea, and I have the whole story in my head, and Nicolas Cage is perfect for it because he can be over the top crazy when he wants to be. He can be subtle. And I had another idea of a movie that could never be made because it's so fucking stupid. Yes, it's so ridiculous that the title is the stupidest thing I ever thought of. And I said it would never tell you what the fucking movie's about. But the premise is, I'll give it to you. Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, and Alec Guinness create a virus. Oh, by the way, they have kidnapped I'll get to who, I thought about who would be, this character they kidnapped. Well, the virus they released turned all the women into psychotically crazy, horny women. Yeah. That are oh my God, they're all they're like, and they're horny as shit. Yeah. And they have teeth yeah. The guys are all, oh my God, this is funny as shit. Okay. The premise is this virus turned all the men in the world grow giant fucking penises and become hermaphrodites. Yes, they get tits and breasts. Now, their sperm, if they try to have sex with the women, it will kill them. It will dissolve them. Their sperm is toxic to women. It will dissolve them. So they only can have sex with each other, but the problem is they're sterile. Yes, their vaginas, they can't get each other pregnant. So it turns out the virus didn't affect one man. He's the only one, by the way, all these hermaphrodite men can get pregnant, but they can't impregnate each other. So this is a stupid movie. And so the idea is they have to rescue the only guy so that he can impregnate all them so that they can have babies and save the human race. Oh my God. And I was thinking, who could be the one, I had many names run through my head of who would be the perfect guy. Yeah, that could play the guy that has to save humanity by fucking all the hermaphrodite men. Oh my God, this movie's stupid. And I said, what's the dumbest title you could come up with a movie? I said, and it just sticks with me, called My Gay Cat. What's that about? I don't know. But it's so dumb, I start laughing at the idea every time it comes to my head. Because the women are fucking, they're basically retarded. And they're horny. They're fucking completely horny, psychotic, crazy bitches that try to have sex with men. But the problem is when one of them, they realize, oh shit, we'll be. So then they grow teeth that want to rip all the guys' dicks off because they know it'll kill them. I told you, this movie's fucking weird as shit. But it can never be made because everybody in the movie would have to be naked. I don't think you really would get everybody going. In Hollywood, in the world, going, yeah, okay, all the actors in the world come together. You're all going to be fucking naked. All the men are going to have big, giant penises and vaginas and tits. And all the women are going to have are going to basically grow teeth out, big, giant teeth out of their vagina. Oh, okay, that's weird. Yeah. And I thought about the only guy that's perfect that would have to fuck all the hermaphroditic men so they can have babies so that they can save the human race. Stupid idea for a movie, I know. And to have Peter Christopher Lee and fucking Alec Guinness be the one who created the virus. Yeah, I told you, it's a fucking crazy idea in my head. I've never been able to get this out of my head. I have never written it. It's just, I didn't even have the dialogue. Like I said, the women, it's the everything, and they engineered a virus, and it turned everybody crazy. Yeah, the women are fucking mental cases. Yeah, I thought that would be the stupidest movie to ever be released in the history of the planet, and it could never be made. Because who in Hollywood or any actor in the world would agree to do this movie where they have to be completely naked for the entire movie with hanging, schlonged, like, yeah, and women, yeah, and really not be able to talk. You can't reason with these, and they realize, okay, when one of them has the guy have sex with them, it dissolves them as soon as he comes. But his cum has no ability to impregnate them. It just kills them, and they go, oh. So then they grow teeth to kill the men. Yeah, it's fucking insane. But it can't be made. Unless somebody actually were like, okay, let's make this movie. I haven't written the script. The story, the dialogue has not been written. It's just like, it runs in my head, crazy, insane idea for a movie that could never be made. Because it would, first of all, be the most expensive, stupid movie ever made. And I wonder, would people really see a movie called My Gay Cat that had a virus turn people into psychotic, women into psychotic monsters, and men all have to fuck each other for pleasure? No. And save the one guy that can get them all babies? I thought, who would be the perfect man that could be the one to save humanity? I thought about several actors. I thought, well, here's a few. I thought Denzel Washington. I thought Matthew McConaughey. At one point, I thought Ryan Reynolds. I thought Hugh Jackman. I thought Peter Skarsgård. And then Glenn Powell came up. I said, yeah, Glenn Powell, because he's got charisma and everything. But I'd said, would he actually do the movie where he has to fuck Brad Pitt in his vagina? Oh, that's the thing, the weird thing. You'd have to fuck the actors in their fake vaginas. Yes, it's almost pornographic. Holy shit. The most graphic fucking movie ever made that is gory as shit and has fucking psychotic women killing men. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Oh dear God. You have Brad Pitt getting fucked by Glenn Powell, and then getting pregnant, and then, oh my God, and it accelerates. Yeah, they get quick babies come out, yeah, within minutes, because somehow the virus did turn them into wind, yeah, but their births are so, it's like within, oh my God, they're popping out babies, yeah, that are normal, and then the babies are growing into adults. Oh shit. Yeah, I told you, this story doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, I thought about that when I'm looking at like what Chris Stuckman did, and I haven't seen his movie. But getting back to Quentin Tarantino, and this is the movie. Like I said, he's a guy that when I think about like, yeah, this is his best movie ever made. It is his magnus opus. Kind of like when I look at Weapons. Right now, that's Zach Cregger's best movie he ever did. I like Barbarians. Yeah, I like that his previous movie. This movie's his best movie he ever did. And then I look at Sinners. The director, Ryan Coogler's best film he ever made, his magnus opus, his movie that tells you he can actually direct a good movie if he writes it and he isn't doing someone else's work. Just an original idea, fucking great. Yeah. And so that's where I keep coming back to this. I mean, it's like, yeah, you know, I have never written shit down on this stuff. This just runs in my head. I have, you know, I've had weird dreams where I'm the last person alive and everybody else is dead and a zombie. It ends the same way. A broken down garage and they're trying to kill me. Another one where somehow I'm in a Japanese school where I'm apparently a Japanese high school girl and being chased by a giant bear. What the fuck? The dream makes no sense. Then another, I'm in fucking a rowing boat with Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees having tea. I tell you, these are weird dreams I can't explain. Yeah. So, yeah. And like I said, Christie is a great biopic movie. I would recommend it again. Go see it, but, you know. And then Saturday I'm going to watch Fractum Hall and Jujutsu Kaisen Execution at the same theater. So, yeah. And it's, you know, Trump is doing his job. There are certain things I don't agree with going fighting Maduro or invading Venezuela. Stupid move. But this whole thing with the illegals, just get them the fuck out of here. They don't deserve to be here. When a man has 15 years of his life ruined by an illegal who's been kicked out 3 times and some idiot reporters trying to make him look like the victim, fuck right off. Fuck off, Somali. Go back to Somaliland. Live in your fucking country. Fix your own country. Stop stealing our money. I don't want any of these Muslims here. I want all illegally undocumented. I want refugees to go back where they came from. Fix your own goddamn fucking countries. Shouldn't be our job to help you. You don't contribute shit. You hate America and you steal our money. Fuck off. This is Gilgamesh. I will talk to you later. Bye.